Hello everyone, and
Hi,
welcome
guys.
back to more mysterious recipes with me.
And me. And today we are doing a requested video, which is
The hamburger platter from the Haunted Carousel.
yes. And who doesn't love a good burger?
No one.
No one. So we already know, well, there's not going to be a lot of unusualness with this recipe. It's going to be good, it's going to be delicious, and we're going to have such a good time eating it.
Yes.
So let's get going. First of all, the hamburger platter comes with fries. And I mean, of course, you can always buy some frozen fries and cook those up, but it's not really a recipe at that point. So we're going to make our fries fresh. We've got 2 large potatoes. We're going to wash those. You don't have to peel these, but if the peels are a little green, go ahead and peel them. Otherwise, that's up to you if you want them that way or not.
Is this gonna be enough for 3 people?
I think so, but we'll see. We're feeding the 2 of us and 1 of our sisters today, so we're going to be making enough for 3 people.
Daniel doesn't get any because he needs sleep.
Also, our viewers have no idea who Daniel is. Like, they've never seen him on camera.
Well, that's because he's always doing something.
It's also by choice. He does not like to be on camera.
Daniel could be so famous.
Yeah, I think that'll be enough because we're having this with a salad as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so this next step is optional. If you have time, run some cold water over those potatoes and soak them for a good half hour. That'll help them be crisper when they're done.
Do you want to put ice?
If you don't
want, make it nice and icy and cold.
I mean, you do have ice cubes, so we can do that, yeah.
Got one of those.
Of course, if you don't have time, just rinse off the extra starch before you get ready to bake them. And they'll still be good, they just won't be quite as crispy.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about the burgers. I mean, obviously you could just buy some pre-shaped burger patties, but where's the fun in that?
Where is the fun?
And also, one thing, when you're looking at the menu in the Haunted Carousel, when it's describing the hamburger platter, it says the hamburger platter has 1/3 of a pound of fresh ground, all-American, 100% pure beef.
And we have that.
Yes.
This is farm.
Organic, locally grown, grass-fed. We got really lucky with this, so we got a pound of that. So that'll make 3 burgers for us since it's a 1/3 pound each. Served on a toasted sesame seed bun with the works, double thick cheese, garnished with a dill pickle spear and our homemade mustard sauce. So when we got to the part where it says homemade mustard sauce, I mean, obviously you're not just gonna go buy some frozen or pre-shaped burger patties and go to the trouble of making your mustard sauce. You gotta dress it up a little. So we've got this and we're gonna put some spices in it before we shape it up, patty it, cook it. The mustard sauce, we are gonna go ahead and show you what all goes in that. I did go ahead and make that in advance last night because all of the recipes for homemade mustard that we were looking at agreed that it's best to make that at least the night before to really let the flavors combine and settle. Also, the fresher the mustard is when you make it, the spicier it's gonna be. So I tried a little dab of it last night after I made it, and it definitely had some bite to it, but I tasted it again this morning. And I mean, it's still got a bit of a bite to it, but nowhere near as much. Last night, that was really just the prevailing flavor over even mustard. So definitely plan to make the mustard in advance, at least at the beginning of the day before, the week before, whatever. It'll be fine. This is our little jar of mustard. What we ended up with here, we just made a nice basic yellow mustard. Smells good. It smells like it smells like halfway between Dijon and regular yellow mustard.
Ooh, that does smell good.
Doesn't it smell good?
Yes.
It smells like a nice quality yellow mustard, which, I mean, it is.
I kind of forget how much I like mustard.
I love mustard so much,
until
especially
I put it on stuff.
I mean, I love all sorts of mustard. I love yellow mustard, Dijon mustard, stone ground mustard, all the mustards. Yes, yes, yes. Huh. And it ended up being really easy to make, so let's go ahead and mention really quick what we did to make this mustard. We did shoot overhead. What we did is took 1/3 of a cup of dry ground yellow mustard. You can buy that at the store in the spice aisle. Quarter teaspoon of salt. An 1/8 of a teaspoon of turmeric, which it sounds like that, based on the recipes we were looking at, that's kind of optional, but it does help like really give you more, the more turmeric you put, the more yellow your mustard is gonna look. It's really gonna stabilize that color for you too. Just a dash of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 cup of water, and then 2 tablespoons of vinegar. You can use white vinegar, cider vinegar. Some recipes said you could use like sherry vinegar. I used white vinegar for this one, but a cider vinegar would also give you like a little bit more of a softer flavor to it. And then we just put everything together in a small pot, cooked it over the stove about like medium-low until it reached the thickness that we wanted, stirring it frequently. When it was done, when it's nice and thick, scoop everything into a little jar, put it in the fridge. You are all set. Really, I mean, it took a while. It probably took about 30 to 40 minutes till it reached the right thickness, but it was really easy to make. You just put everything in a pot, cook it, you're good to go. Let's talk our spice blend for the burgers. Let's get a little bowl to put our spices in, because we're gonna put the spice mix in the burgers, but we're also gonna take some, since we're already mixing up, we're gonna take some and put it on the fries too and do seasoned fries.
Because who doesn't love seasoned fries?
Yes, I love seasoned fries. So we need, let me get this, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. You can use pre-ground pepper, but it's just such a different flavor having it brushed. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. This is optional. It'll give it just a little smidge more of a kick.
It's like an Arby's fry.
Kind of, yeah. A 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Once the spices are all put together, just give them a stir so you have a nice blended. Did you pour it on yourself?
I did.
Where did it land?
On my shirt.
Anyway, so now you have your nice spice blend that we're going to put in both the burgers and on the fries. I'm also going to go ahead and start preheating the oven for the fries. We're going to preheat that to 400, 425, somewhere in that range. I'm going to set it to 425.
Guys, I just spilled coffee on myself.
Sorry, that wasn't very supportive. At least it was someone other than me this time, so yay. While the potatoes finish soaking, we're going to go ahead and prep the dressing for the side salad. We're going to do this exactly the same way as we did the last one for Haunted Carousel, the side salad for the veggie platter, because we're assuming all the side salads are exactly the same at the hotels. Yes. Alright, so 1/4 cup of olive oil.
tablespoon of vinegar.
Our tablespoon measuring spoon is
Oh, I
dirty
do
right
have some
now.
actually.
Quarter cup is 4 tablespoons, so we're going to fill that about a fourth of the way.
Things you don't cook it in. 1 clove of garlic minced. Salt and pepper. A 4th teaspoon of garlic powder and a 4th teaspoon of onion powder.
Okay.
Half a teaspoon of honey.
Half a teaspoon?
Half a teaspoon.
So very small.
Very minuscule amount. It's because I am not usually.
I'm gonna eyeball that because most of our measuring spoons are dirty right now.
Yeah, we've been doing some cooking today.
And then also some mustard, which half a teaspoon of that?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. And since we already have homemade mustard for the burgers themselves, we're gonna use the homemade mustard in the dressing.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that gives it much of a different flavor or not. So it's been about half an hour. Let's go ahead and get the potatoes ready. We're gonna need a baking pan for that. Got a nice clean dish towel. I'm just gonna get some of the moisture off these potatoes again so they'll stay crispier. If you don't have a clean dish towel, just grab some paper towels and just pat off some of the excess water. You're gonna take a tablespoon and a half of oil and drizzle it over the fries. You can use cooking oil, olive oil. We've got the olive oil out already, so let's just use that. And we are going to take from the spice blend that we made 1 1/4 teaspoons of the spice blend. We're gonna throw that on there and then we're gonna shake everything up in the pan to make sure everything is evenly distributed. They're not really heavily seasoned, but they'll have a little bit of extra flavor other than just being crispy fries. Once you've got the oil and spices all spread out onto the potatoes, spread those out into an even layer.
You
You want them to be crispier.
Yes.
Yes. So the more space they have, then the crispier they'll be. Into the oven. We've got it again preheated to 425.
How long are we doing?
And we're gonna let that go for, these are fairly thinly cut. So let's set the timer for like 20 minutes. We'll check them at 20 minutes, but they might, depending on how thick you cut your fries, they might need more like 25 minutes to half an hour in order to we want to cook them till they're golden brown and crispy. All right,
Start off the burgers.
So again, we've got 1 pound of ground beef. Now we're gonna take the rest of that spice blend that we mixed up, what's left over after doing the potatoes, and we're gonna throw all of that in with this pound of ground beef. We're just gonna mix this up really well. You could use a spoon at this point, but we're gonna have to use our hands to patty them. So I'm just gonna go and use my hands for this step too, since no point in getting a spoon and my hands dirty. And then the burgers clearly say that they're a 1/3 pound of ground beef per burger, so we're gonna split up this ground beef here into thirds. Let's heat the pan to about medium high. You know what, I'm gonna use my hands because one thing about burgers is that they're always gonna shrink up toward the middle as they cook, so you want it to be wider than your bun before you
We're
start
not
cooking
gonna
it.
use this burger press.
Yeah, because that burger press is about the same size as the bun. If we use that to patty out the meat, then it's gonna be too small of a patty when we're done. So we want it to have some overlap right now because it's gonna shrink up inwards. We're gonna put just a small drizzle of oil in the pan. This is a fairly lean ground beef, so it's not gonna have a lot of fat to cook out. We wanna make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. And then we're gonna start cooking this over like medium high. So the burger says it is served the work style, so that's gonna mean lettuce, tomato, onion, ketchup, mustard. Do you like your onions on your burgers cooked or not cooked? At this point you can do it either way. I don't know. I mean, they're being a little bit extra with the homemade mustard. So you can, if you like raw onion, go ahead and just slice up your raw onion and put it on your burger when you're done. The reason I'm asking is while we're cooking the burgers, at this point, if you prefer your onion like slightly cooked, you can cut that down thinly, throw it on top of your burger while it's cooking, and then when you flip it over, it'll sear on the bottom of your patty.
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll do it that way then. But if you prefer your onion raw, then just wait until you're making the burger.
Look at my babies. They're so cute.
They're wore out from playing in the tripod
Clover,
bag.
he doesn't hang out with Pascal like sleeping next to him very often, but when it's cold, they are the cutest little snuggles. That's why I need to live somewhere freezing, so my cats are always nice. That's the trick.
So our patties are cooking, our fries are cooking. Let's go ahead and,
Cut the onion?
well, let's cut up the salad first so we don't get that flavored like. Okay, we're doing the side salad exactly the same as we did for the veggie platter because we want them to be a uniform type of salad for this game. We're just gonna cut up some romaine lettuce, throw that on our plates, add a few cherry tomatoes, and that's gonna be it other than the dressing at the end. Do you want to get a plate for the burger toppings? I'm gonna go ahead and cut up. We're gonna cut up a tomato for the burgers. And then we've got our onion. We're gonna cut that up pretty thin so that it can cook a little bit more without overcooking the burgers. since we wanted our onions slightly cooked, we're gonna put these on top of the burger patties before we flip it.
All right, let's do that. The burgers cooking are smelling so good. Oh my goodness, I'm getting very hungry. Breakfast is a little ways ago now, so I'm ready for some good food.
And now we're just gonna cook those patties until the meat is finished cooking through, and that's up to you how done you like your burger patties, but we're gonna do these, I think, pretty well done.
Do you want to put the cheese on there while it's hot?
Yes, but not yet, because I don't want it running all over the pan. So it's up to you if you want to use American cheese or cheddar. American's gonna give you the classic cheeseburger, but we also love, I have onion all over my hand, that's why I'm not holding your hand like that. So I had both American and cheddar in the fridge. I brought them both, so we have options. Oh, we also need to cut up some pickles.
Some pickles! What do you guys think? Is this enough pickles? I mean,
Maybe.
and didn't it say pickle spears on the side?
It does say pickle spears, but when looking at, well, yeah, yes, but at the same time, yeah, the picture you don't see the pickle spear, so it's like the pickle spear is inside the burger. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some pickles, like regular pickle chips slice, and maybe a spear on the side as well.
My sweet pickle.
Not quite golden.
What do you think?
Let's shake the pan and then give them like another 5 minutes and see how they look. We will need to toast up the buns because it does clearly say toasted sesame buns, but that can wait just a minute. I'm gonna take that off the heat for a minute because if we put the cheese on right now, it's gonna run all over the pan.
What do you want in your burger? American or cheddar?
I feel like we ought to go with American, but I brought the cheddar in case.
I prefer cheddar, so I'm putting cheddar on mine.
Okay.
And they said
so we'll do one with
cheese,
cheddar.
right?
Yes, so 2 slices per. Those fries are looking great.
Looking beautiful.
I think the fries are good. We'll take a nice appreciation shot. Alrighty, let us assemble. So, we need our toasted bun, which we just pulled out of the oven. We toasted that up in there on a pan, since we already had that preheated. We do want this with some mayo. We need some of our homemade mustard. We need lettuce, tomato, pickles, And of course ketchup. The onions are already on there, but if you didn't cook your onions in advance, then go ahead and
put your onions on there as well.
Ooh. I think that's everything on the burger. Onions, tomato, lettuce, ketchup, pickles, mustard, yes. And then we add our fries with plenty of ketchup on the side. I'm going to try the fry first because it'll be less messy, and I'm going to go ahead and get a napkin because I know I'll need it.
Very delicious.
Yes. Not super crispy. I think we could have cooked them a little bit longer, but they're definitely cooked through. Also, we already know what the salad tastes like because we've done it this way a couple times now. And I'm going to go and try some before I try the burger, before I get full. Also, this is the first time we've done it with homemade mustard, so we'll see if that makes a noticeable difference. I wouldn't say it's a major difference, but it's good as always.
Can you dig it?
Let me get my sleeves out a little bit.
Yeah, roll those sleeves up.
Yes.
Alright.
Big burger. It's gonna. I cannot for the life of me eat a burger without it going everywhere. Set it down, honey.
That is delicious. Those slightly caramelized onions.
Doing a whole lot of eating and not a lot of reviewing right now. So we just tried a little piece of the patty itself that came out. And it's got like a nice light flavor, but it's definitely not a super strong spice blend flavor to it. I think I could have definitely put more mustard because I'm not hardly tasting the mustard over it. I'm going to put a little bit more mustard before I finish mine. Because with the homemade mustard being such a big factor in this, it definitely needed more to be standing out over everything else. This is where it would be less messy if it was in a squeeze bottle. It's not. It'll be fine. I'm going to take like another dollop there. Throw it on the bottom.
She said she does love her mustard.
Well, also I can't taste it over everything else, which is a pity. So we're gonna try it with extra mustard. That's good. So it needed probably like another teaspoon more of mustard than I gave it. It got just a little bit of a bite now with that extra mustard. But it's definitely not overpowering it. It was a good idea to follow like the recipes were saying and make the mustard beforehand because it's good right now, but it's not super strong. Whereas last night when it was fresh made, it was a very strong bite to it. So right now you can taste there's mustard on there. It tastes good. It tastes a little bit more bold than a classic like bottled yellow mustard. A little bit more of a heat and pungency to it, but it's not too strong. How do we think Joe would rate the burger?
I don't know, because I think she gave us a low rating the one time we had him in video.
No, Joe Hardy.
Oh.
How do we think Joe Hardy would rate the burger?
A 10 out of 10.
The milk with my burger would not be my first choice, but this is how Nancy got it, so let's see how it goes.
Should I buy mustard sauce?
It's fine. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had milk with my burger before. It just tastes like you're drinking milk. It doesn't clash with it. It doesn't really add to it, so. I will definitely say it's better than the time we did burgers for our Blue Moon Kid. Having the seasoned burger with cooked onions, but also having a burger that doesn't have grape jelly on it.
That's always a plus.
I feel like half my condiments are on my face and the other half is on this napkin.
Towards the other half of my burger, I could definitely taste the mustard a little bit, so that was good.
It's got more heat to it than a store-bought yellow mustard.
A little bit, yeah. It's got more tang to it.
Reminds me a little bit more of like horseradish sauce.
Yeah.
While it's still fresh like this. And the recipes were saying the longer that it sits, like the longer it's in your fridge, the more mild it will become. But it's definitely got, if you like horseradish or spicy mustards, then you're definitely gonna like this one. The fries are really good. I think if we cooked them for 25 minutes altogether, I think half an hour they would have had the right level of crispiness. But the flavor of them is really good.
They're good. They're not bad. Like crispy fries.
Yeah, they've got a little crisp. They're just not very crispy fries. Which is the whole point that we were soaking them in cold water first. Alright, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It was absolutely delicious.
It was a delicious burger, even if it didn't stay together. Definitely recommend throwing the onions on before you flip them to get that grilled flavor, unless
So
you really
good.
prefer raw onions. Because that flavor got so good.
Would you visit the Haunted Carousel just for this burger and fries?
I love carousels. What do you mean just for the burger and fries? I feel like it would be a 50-50. I love carousels so much I would visit half for the carousel, half for the burger and fries.
Okay.
It was a fantastic meal. Thank you for the suggestion. We are always happy to eat burgers by request.
Yes.
Not 100% sure what our next recipe will be yet, other than probably the next coffee in our coffees of the month
Coffee.
for January. As for our next food item after that, not sure what that's going to be yet. So as always, comment down below. Let us know if you have any requests, suggestions, ideas. If you have any suggestions for the coffees of the month, based on you had a idea for what would work for some of the different things based on the clues in the line for each month, because we are still brainstorming that.
But until next time,
We are going to be here stuffing our faces.
Bye.
Mystery time. There's a mystery.
There are
better
some
thickness.
cheeseburgers that I've been dreaming